outside. I'm like,
Oh, I know. And that's too noisy, so I had to shut that off. I can already tell that what a difference that makes. I keep the shades closed in here to keep the sun from coming in, but it still heats up pretty good. I think the room is just a hot room.
well, small.
So, okay, so what we'll do, I'm just going to introduce you. So you graduated not from the Work Ready program in May, but from River Valley.
Oh yes, I graduated.
So how long ago was the Work Ready?
I think I started in like April.
Of
so
last
it was
year?
3 weeks, right?
Okay.
I think around then, springtime,
Okay.
and then started at the school in August.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So I'll just have some simple questions, and we'll just follow up questions, but just be like
Okay.
any kind of an interview. So that's all it is. I mean, this interview makes my second interview I've ever done.
Oh, I was gonna say you look pretty comfortable.
In front of a camera. I mean, Kai and I, we were going through stuff, and so we made some errors and stuff, but we figured we'll keep going. We asked the question, let the editor cut out the mistakes, and
Who's gonna edit it?
one of the students.
No,
So
no,
yeah.
Oh,
So it was actually
sounds like you have a good group.
Yeah, there's 7 of us, and so the editor is the youngest. He's a 20-something millennial. The rest of us are in 30s, 40s, and up. And so I would say probably it's a pretty well educated class. Even Aaron, the millennial, I think has a college degree. I mean, he's a pretty intelligent kid.
And yet you're all still getting something out of it that says.
The soft skills are the most incredible part of this thing.
I thought soft skills meant software.
Right. Well, it's one of the things that. So Kyra was talking about. I said, "Well, can you elaborate a little bit just so we have an idea of what we're talking about here?" So okay. All right. So I have a little introduction here. So I said I thought you was graduated from the Work Ready program in May. So I'll just say a recent graduate from the Work Ready New Hampshire program.
Fine.
Okay. All right. And away we go. Okay. It's Miller, right? Mary Miller?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Is it on or?
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. I can't reach for me to turn it on, so I had to turn it on before I sat down.
There's like nothing blinking. Right?
I know. So it sucked my battery dry this morning, so we don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
But we'll have, I think we're good here.
Is it on yet?
Yeah. So if I can edit it, I'll have to cut some of this stuff back before I send it to Aaron to edit because, of size constraints.
Okay.
So I think we're good. All right. I'm sitting here now with Mary Miller, who's a recent graduate of the Work New Hampshire, Type 2. Thank you. No, that's right. What was the mistake? Try again. I'm sitting here now. I have to slow down, so I apologize. We'll try it again. I'm sitting here now with Mary Miller, a recent graduate from the Work Ready New Hampshire program, who's just started a new job recently. Yes. So congratulations on your new job, and thank you very much for giving us some time here.
My pleasure.
So Mary, I'd like to ask you, how'd you find out about the program?
The Monadnock Shopper, actually. Okay. My husband saw it in there, and he knew that I was transitioning back to work after having been out of work for a while. And without my knowledge, actually, he signed me up for it.
Well, that's interesting because my wife saw it in the Keene Sentinel.
Oh,
it wasn't the Monadnock paper, but it was the same thing.
Isn't that
she
funny?
pulled it out. She said, "Hey, what do you think?" I said, "Oh, yeah, sign me up." So
yeah,
it's a good thing. All right, so what convinced you to take the course?
Well, I wasn't convinced to take the course. I was annoyed that he'd signed me up, and I arrived to let them know that do the courtesy of showing up and then saying it's not really a good fit, because I thought it was going to be interviewing skills and things that I didn't think I really needed help with. Mm-hmm. And then I met the people involved, and then I met Kai Ferland, and after the first class, I said, this is worth staying for.
Right, and Kai was the soft skills instructor.
Correct.
Right, okay. So what did you like about the course? What was it that once you took the course, you said, "Well, this is interesting, I like this"?
Well, it covered things that I hadn't anticipated, situations that come up in the work place, and the group that we had was we started out with 4, wound up with 3, and they worked well together, and they conversations were lively. But mostly, I think it was Kai's experience of things that she brought to bear on the conversation that was helpful. And having not been in the working environment for a while, it was helpful to hear of different scenarios and things, and to practice how you might handle them.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. And then what skills did you take away from the course? Yeah, was there particular things that stood out that?
Well, as far as skills, I think for me, it was what I took away from it was a whole new line of work. I had you did some testing in there, math testing, reading testing, and things like that. And Kai had said, well, if you're comfortable with the math, you might want to look into manufacturing. And I thought of manufacturing as Rosie the Riveter.
Right.
I had never heard of machining. I didn't know about lathes and mills and all that. And it was just not just something that was entirely new to me, that I never would have stumbled on, I don't think, had I not met Kai and been involved in this program.
Right, so let's elaborate on that a little bit. So through the program, Kai had suggested to you that perhaps machining was something that you might work well because of your math skills.
Yes, I think what she was talking about, that she felt that more, I don't remember if it was more women in general or just people in general ought to go in machining, simply because the whole college education was not a good fit for a lot of people. They wound up with merely debt at the end of it, and no real direction. And that the machining required less schooling, which was of interest to me because I'm older, and then you could wind up being a well-paying position with much shorter time to reach a better plane. Right. So, and also I used to teach high school math in another life. So one question they always had was, when am I ever going to use this?
Right.
And it was very interesting, many days I said, well, we should use this example in the classroom, because this is where we're using these things. So it was just, I found it interesting, and I didn't expect, I expected to go back to work. I didn't expect to go back to anything really interesting, So it's been a ride.
Oh, excellent. And so you took a couple of courses right at River Valley Community College, right?
Yes, having Kai introduced me to Mike, and then I found out about River Valley's machine. They had then something called boot camps, and I don't know if they're still doing that, but at the time that was an intense, 2-3 week program, maybe even 6, to introduce people to the machining world. Now my course wound up being 2 semesters, and I can't imagine what they did in 2 weeks, 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. It was just too much. It would be way too much to really learn anything. Even the 2 semesters. I was introduced to many things, but now I'm expected to use them and know them. So it's like, wait a minute.
And so you've been there 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I just finished my second week.
And how is that going?
It's going well. It's GS Precision in Keene, and it's just been, everybody's been friendly and helpful. Mm-hmm. It's been a really nice environment.
Oh, excellent. Very good. Very good. So part of this course is the essential foundation skills. And so did you feel like that you were able to reacquaint yourself with those skills, which is math and reading and that kind of thing?
Well, I've been homeschooling for a number of years, so I'm never really far from that kind of stuff. Right. So I think it was...
And you were a teacher as well, so...
Yeah, so I didn't have a problem with the math and reading. I think what was that third component?
It was finding information.
Within, and I thought that was fascinating, but I wasn't fast enough. So I really wanted to ace that thing, and then rookie mistake, I just was spending too much time. Then time's up. Right. I could have used some of the time I had left over in the other sections. I can't do that.
Right.
So, but that was fascinating because all kinds of different information on there, and to see what people. That also was helpful, just to see what's out there. But I think this is probably a program that should be in high school, so that kids can get an idea. Not that it isn't helpful for older people, it definitely is, but just to be exposed to things that are out there that you wouldn't have any way of finding out.
Right. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Let me see. I guess we could talk about some of that. So part of me this is my question to you, as I look for questions to ask, because some of this I have written down questions, and you've answered to the question through your answer, so I don't really want to say. Let me ask you about after you took the course, did it improve your confidence in your ability to get another job? So since you're unemployed and now as you're entering. So, well, let me ask it a different way. So, you're unemployed before you go to the class. Your husband signs you up. Like, I'm not sure this is what I want to do. So you go to drop out of the class before you signed up, and then so once you took the course. So I'm sorry. So getting into that, what was your confidence of getting a new job before the course?
Well, I had gotten certified to be an LNA before that, so it wasn't so much that it was a confidence thing. I don't think it was more just being exposed to things that I was ignorant of before. Okay. I don't know. I think I was concerned about the age, and that was my class was probably younger than yours. I was the oldest, I'm sure. So that has always been a concern. At my age, how do you begin over again? What do you do when you don't have a whole lot of time to spend on education or re-educate? And I don't know that I ever would have gone to River Valley. I wouldn't have considered it without having been through this course and just being exposed to things. And hey, that's something I could do.
Right.
You know?
So of course, this course is worthwhile. And well, I won't put words in your mouth.
Right.
I'll let you. Do you feel like the course is worthwhile? Do you feel like
we had like three. Even the woman who left, even she, I think, it was had a life impacting on her because the issues that she needed to deal with that were brought up simply because we were in that group and the questions and things that came up. So I think probably people get different things out of it. And certainly we had one young lady who was very shy and didn't know how to deal with people at work. And, Kai was able to work through certain scenarios that she could practice. How do I want to handle the situation at work? And also to hear from people who cared about her what she was projecting that she might not have realized that she was projecting. So that's something that she got out of it. There was another lady who had real rough experiences at work, and it was, I know you could see it was helpful for her just to sort through those and see what I could have done, and maybe some of the problems could be caused without realizing it, So that soft skills, which is not the sort of thing I'm, it opened my eyes to, you can be the source of a problem without even realizing it, and sometimes you need the very problem you think you're trying to solve to be there because you want to complain about it. I mean,
we're not always aware on our impact on other people,
and also feeling that you have to react, or that you have no power over how you react. You made me do that. You made me feel that way. No. So take a moment and see. So I think those kinds of things are just life skills. They're helpful.
It is, and it's a self-empowering kind of thing. Because,
yes, I think that's what she wanted to call it.
Because one of the things that, now I'm going to answer for you, but one of the things in the course that teaches you is that you're empowered on how you react to the situation. And just because you instinctively want to react in a perceived negative situation, you don't have to. I mean, the power is within you to be able to say, oh, am I in fight or flight? Do I want to just stand there and battle it out? Do I just want to run away? Sometimes your instinct is, I'm not gonna take that from that person. I'm gonna fight back and I'm gonna set them straight. But in reality, it's better sometimes to take a step back to say, why is that person saying what they're saying in that way? And am I acting in the best way? And then it allows for a reaction. Someone complains about something you're doing. I mean, you can jump in and say, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, just leave me alone. Or you could say, wow, thank you for the input. I appreciate that, and I'll take that under advisement. And it's a way to diffuse a potentially volatile situation. And before this class, myself, I could see myself in those situations where I didn't react in the best way. Let me put it that way. But I can see through this course now that through the things that Kai has taught, the soft skills, that there's a different way to do it, and you don't have to be confrontational all the time. And things work out much better when you're not confrontational. And so it's the skill that you learn, and to be able to communicate better with one another, so things aren't always bang bang.
Right. And trying to. And of course, it's good to know it, but it's a habit.
It
So
is.
you
I mean, you have to.
probably
It's
just
a
have a
skill.
refresher.
It's a skill. It's a skill. So you have to learn the skill.
Right.
But if you don't know anything about the skill, one or two, you don't know
So-
how to create the skill in yourself, you're not going to get there.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this course. It's going to teach you about soft skills. It's going to help you to learn the soft skills so you can implement the soft skill at a point in time in the future where it's important.
And also, I think being aware of your emotional and physical reactions.
Right.
You know, and then why am I feeling, or how am I feeling, and recognizing that, which is just being aware.
Right.
It's being aware. Once you've been told, you know, whereas you might just do something blindly, you know, without.
That's, you know, the interesting thing, my I don't know if words get it up, but I'll tell you this anyway. When I came back from class one day, my wife says, so are you able to, you know, just, how are you doing having to listen to other people before you give your answer? And yeah, and I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, you interrupt all the time and you're always trying to get your answer. No, there's no way. And she goes, what? Her reaction was like, what? Are you kidding me? You don't know that that's the case? I'm like, no. So it just becomes a self-awareness. It makes you self-aware that, you know, here was a reaction. Right. No, but here was a reaction that I know. Obviously, I do this. Otherwise, why would my wife tell me that that was the case? But it was not one that I was aware. You know, and it was interesting. It's been interesting in the class where Kai a couple of times said, you have to be careful how you say this. And it was always, you know, sometimes my meaning isn't what I'm saying. And then like trying to explain something. Ultimately, my point was that you know, the way I feel about something was good. But sometimes we don't talk in the best language, or we use a word that might be misconstrued inappropriately. You don't need to insult somebody. You know,
Right,
but
it's taken that way.
But through a word.
So being aware not only of your own reactions,
exactly.
but how your words are
That's
impacting
exactly
others,
right.
which we can be oblivious of.
Right, exactly. You know, and it's that, to me, it's one of the big things to pull from that is just your interaction with other people and how that can be improved. So, let's see. So I also understand that when you took that machining class, you won an award.
Oh yeah, I don't know how many people there were, but the combination of Claremont and Keene, and so they, you know, I don't know, but the criteria they selected it for is, you know, but yeah, so it was a lovely actually.
And the award was what?
It was a certificate and a, you know.
Right, but what did I want to try to get? What did it represent? What was the purpose of the award?
I think it was academic and participation and somebody who, you know, above and beyond sort of flowery language.
Yeah, okay.
But it was a nice chance to meet some of the people up in Claremont, and it surprised me because I expected it would be from the math class, which was the easiest for me, and I thought, and I did well, and not from. A little slow with the computers, which is why soft skills, I thought software. That
right. Yeah. Okay.
And you know, a lot of the guys in the class are comfortable in the shop. They're not comfortable in an academic environment, and they will not ask questions. They will not ask a question. I have no problem asking a question. So then, you know, does everybody get it except Mary? So, you know, I knew that they didn't know.
Right.
But
so you were there last night.
It doesn't bother me. So he would get to the point that he'd say something, look to see if I had that deer in the headlights look, and explain it again, you know, which, you know, was a little humility is always a good thing. So I was shocked when I was like, you know, getting an award, because I always felt that I was a step behind. Because, you know, nobody writes anything down. They just cut and paste and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, slow down, start from the beginning. You know? How do you do this? So, yeah, so that was it was a surprise, and it was a lovely event up in Claremont. It was like a dinner, and it was really lovely.
Oh, excellent. Well, Mary, many thanks. I appreciate it.
Oh,
appreciate
my
that
pleasure,
you
Chris.
spending time, and so thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Excellent. Wow, I'm so hot.
You're
I had just bought these from Amazon, and they were supposed to come in. So I paid the extra shipping because I needed it today.
Oh my
I needed it
goodness.
for today.
They just came in today?